Let's see, LGD.
5 seconds.
Okay, so let's see. About a month ago, IGV 2-0 LGD. IGV is the one that just kills LGD, and then you have LGD beating them in a previous match in DPL like about 2 months ago. So basically, in their last 10 games or so, IG Vitality has won about 7 of them. So a pretty good sign for IG Vitality. But the thing for me is I think LGD has been improving very much so. Their play yesterday has been absolutely beautiful. With that said, though, IG Vitality is the higher seed here at DPL. And I think they got one of the best heroes. Support Underlord is definitely one of IG Vitality's go-to heroes, being played by Dogfights. Not exactly Dogfight's standard fare. He generally prefers playing things like Ricky, Kunkka, Bounty Hunter, your roaming kind of support hero. But he's done a lot of work on that. Just sit in the lane, harass, and be super annoying Underlord. And most likely Sanking will be the offlaner here with the support Underlord in the lane. And that's already a very annoying lane for Luna to deal against because, you get Pit of Malice, you get Caustic Finale on you. There's just a lot of harass. It's really hard to kill this particular lane because of how tanky they are. So I think this particular duel, the Pit Lord and Sanking combination, has won IG Vitality a lot of games in the past 2 weeks or so. It doesn't necessarily always has to be the Sanking, but Underlord seems to be the winning ingredient in most of these games. Meanwhile, on the other side, we got the Slaughter and Luna combination. So right off the get-go, we know that there won't be any Lifestealer. In the past, we've seen a lot of Lifestealer Slaughter combination. Although I think LGD is one of the few teams that don't actually prefer the combination. Might be one of those heroes that Ame don't really like to play. Generally prefer playing the harder carry heroes like Luna, Juggernaut, what have you, instead of the more tempo controller such as the Lifestealer. Alright, we are through the second phase here. A lot of mid heroes being taken out. Tinker as well as Puck being removed. Although some of the Sakata's best heroes are still in the pool if he wants to pick something up for himself. His Puck has been absolutely mesmerizing. Shadow Fiend is definitely one of his stronger heroes. So it looks like we're going to draft Super's hero, Witch Doctor. I've definitely seen this combination before, the double support of Pit Lord and Witch Doctor. And on the face value, they don't seem to do that much. It's like, okay, you got a little bit of AoE, you got a little bit of sustain, but in actuality, they combine so well together. It's already super annoying to play against the Pit of Malice, but imagine a Pit of Malice in the middle of a team fight. You have to run around it, but you're getting cast all the time, and then you have Death Ward on top of you. Sometimes you even get Pit of Malice twice with a double root mechanic if there's a good chain stun from Sanking or Witch Doctor. So a lot of sustain also in this particular draft. Underlord will be getting the mech. Witch Doctor has the innate heal with Voodoo Restoration. Yesterday I brought up a point where I feel like teams should be at least acknowledging Ancient Apparition a little bit more. I feel like the hero is definitely a very strong one, but no one is really picking it. And you can see how it's strong here, right? Particularly against these kind of pseudo-tanky heroes simply because they have a ton of regen or kind of ability to buy mech and pipe and whatnot. So we shall see. From LGD side, there is no guarantee that this is an off-lane Slaughter. Could be a support one. But we saw XZ playing. Actually, we saw Victoria and XZ playing a lot of kind of non-traditional roaming supports yesterday. Okay, so this is for sure going to be a support. Actually, come to think of it, I do remember a team picking up Slaughter, Lifestealer plus Keeper of the Light yesterday. It might have been LGD, even though I just said Ame did not prefer playing Lifestealer. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the team that ran it, because they did some really great recalls with the Lifestealer infested into Slaughter, and then Keeper recalls Slaughter for some kind of across the map ganks. But Keeper of Light, one of the better heroes to deal with these kind of very tanky yet somewhat low mana pool heroes. You drop a Mana Leak on Sanking or Underlord and suddenly they'll be having a lot of issues. Okay, it's going to be Paparazzi Slark here. There is a slight possibility that's going to be a mid Slark, but chances of that is quite low. But yeah, pretty good one if you ask me. Keeper of Light and I guess Slaughter don't have exactly the best stuns. Although the Slaughter versus Slark matchup is a little bit volatile, right? Yes, you can Dark Pack the Corrosive Haze, and you can Dark Pack the stun. At the same time, though, he could stun you while you're in Shadow Dance or Shadow Blade. So I feel like the two heroes has a lot of game against each other. But yeah, I think I would have preferred a different carry that could take advantage of the fact that they have so much chain stunning power. But I guess Slark is definitely going to benefit from chain stuns as he could build the Essence Shift and whatnot. Tiny is going to be the fourth pick up here by LGD. Yesterday, we saw LGD pick Tiny a lot up against very squishy supports. IO being the hero that they always try to kill first at the beginning of a team fight with the Tiny. But they were killing Witch Doctors as well. So this is going to be LGD's mid hero by Maybe. And Maybe was going for a Blink Dagger, Shadow Blade into Ethereal Blade build. It was just all the assassination all the time, every time. So Witch Doctor is going to have a tough time. But, I mean, apart from the Witch Doctor, that's essentially a free kill. I gotta say, Sand King, Underlord, Slark, these are fairly tanky heroes, especially the support Underlord. Like, he actually gets to walk up to Tiny and be like, yo, bruh, I'm gonna buy a mech and pipe. I'm gonna be fine. So, I mean, I'm glad that LGD has picked Tiny. Because I think Tiny is a very fun hero to watch. I just don't think this is a great Tiny game. He will have to keep her backup though, so a lot of the chakra magic. Yesterday we saw a lot of Tiny tossing a Slaughter in for a Slaughter Crush. So maybe that's the combination that they have in mind. It is a very scary initiation. Tiny tossing a Slaughter in, there's a Crush, followed by a Illuminate, followed by a Avalanche, followed by Eclipse. That's a lot of AoE damage, so ooh, we're even gonna have an Axe on point. So a lot of the weight is on Ame's shoulder to really carry this game. Unless, of course, Tiny just takes over the game, which he can. So I'm expecting Axe to be the off lane here, support Slaughter and Keeper of Light. And whoever goes mid is going to have a relatively tough time. I think the best mid that's still available is Puck, probably against this particular combination. Simply because he has multiple ways to get away from Tiny's tossback combination. And if he has Orb available, he should really never die. Yesterday we saw Mirana just getting absolutely wrecked by the Tiny. We saw we saw Juggernaut also having a very, very tough time against the Tiny. So, I do not advise any kind of melee hero being picked up. Ooh, it is going to be a Shadow Fiend instead. So, Shadow Fiend... Wait, let me turn up the Dota audio, because people were complaining about it yesterday. Okay, so Shadow Fiend is pretty interesting. Shadow Fiend... Yes, he's a very squishy and easily killable target. You know, walk up, toss back, crush, dead. But the fact that Shadow Fiend could raise Tiny a couple times and keep Tiny's HP pool low might actually disincentivize Tiny from like walking up to you like that. So it's a very risky pick, but because how good Sakata is on the hero, I'm gonna say yeah, I'm a big fan of the pick. Now, Shadow Fiend, as of late, has always been buying Shadow Blade, and getting Shadow Blade on both Slark and Shadow Fiend, and having Sandstorm Sand King is perhaps a little bit of overkill. It really allows the detection of LGD to be super effective, and they also have Corrosive Haze already built in. So I'm envisioning Shadow Fiend to go a little bit tankier of a build instead of going for the Shadow Blade. I'm thinking of like Manta style. BKB, Butterfly, kind of the traditional right-click Shadow Fiend build, maybe with the Dragonlance built in. Alright, looks like we got the game rolling. Support Pit Lord, walking up top, dropping down some wards. Huh, very interesting ward spot. Let's check out that one. Don't exactly see too much of anything, but at the same time, it's going to be much harder to deward, although I think if you put like a sentry here on the stairs, you could deward this very common spot. And ooh, it's probably just outside of the range, but still, this ward sees like absolutely nothing. Alright. Alright, Alme doing a little bit of dance. Meanwhile, this is another very standard warding spot. Gives a very good vision in this kind of jungle area to see a lot of rotation of the Radiant side, but more importantly, blocking this pole camp. Sakata starting out with the standard stuff. Gonna be going for that bottle. And it looks like he's been giving a particular sentries. Both players have a mid observer ward, but Shadow Fiend, once he tests whether there is a mid observer, he could eat it. And there's a very easy way to test. You know, once, for example, you could get the creep equilibrium in such a way where the enemy does not have vision of you, and then you start aggroing some creeps, and the creep suddenly gets to aggro to you even though they don't have vision. Then you could easily test that there is high ground vision. You have to deal with the range tree. I don't think I did a very good job explaining that mechanic, but there is a way. Well, he's gonna just like blindly put it down and just eats it. So I guess it is fairly common to have a observer in the mid lane for the Tiny, because Tiny does need high ground vision to toss creeps as a harass mechanism. So meanwhile, back in the top lane here, it looks like Crush is going to start things off against Dogfight. Dogfight is very tanky, but he takes a full Illuminate, and the right clicks are coming through, and that should be first blood. He pops a Fairy Fire, and that shall be enough to keep him alive. That was close. Salve and Fairy Fire being brought out, but it did waste a lot of the resources on XZ. Well, he cleared these back up, so no big deal. Oh. Crush. Don't think we're going to see another Illuminate, but good right clicks coming through. Ooh, another Crush, another Illuminate. That could be a kill right there. Yeah, XZ draws first blood. Dogfights was not even there at all to like harass XZ, and now Dogfights is running in a very awkward angle. Sand King is teleporting back, but alright, the creep wave is gaining onto LGD. Kind of a sloppy mistake here by IG Vitality up on the top lane. This lane shouldn't really die. Granted, they're both still level 1, or Dogfights now hits level 2. Once they get to like level 3 or 4, then this lane is really won by IG Vitality. But for now, LGD taking advantage of the fact that they are still level 1, and this is a fairly killable lane. Meanwhile, looking at bottom here, we got Paparazzi relatively getting free farm. Normally, Axe has a very good matchup against Slark in the safe lane, but provided that he has support. In a 1v2 situation, I'm not sure if Axe could actually handle this lane that easily. Right, back in the mid lane, looks like maybe got pretty much forced back, and Shadow Fiend is already building up to that Souls. So this is kind of the concern I had about the mid matchup for the Tiny, is that yeah, he's gonna just lose this matchup unless he gets kills. And you can't always count on those kills, so I'm not exactly sure what maybe's game plan is. He really needs Slaughter to help out in this mid lane, but at the same time, Slaughter needs to keep these two in check. Because as soon as Slaughter leaves this lane is automatically won by IGV. Looks like we're gonna see a Crush. Illuminate's gonna hit here, and which one are they gonna go for? Nobody. So I'm not sure if you guys noticed, I really like the play that LGD went for. XC gave Slaughter a Chakra Magic before they went for the Crush, allowing the second Crush to come off cooldown very, very fast. I think level 1 Chakra Magic reduces cooldown by like 3 or 4? 3. So you'll have another Crush in about like 3 seconds after the Crush expires for the first one. Good attempt, but these heroes a little bit tankier, and they don't want to tower dive versus them. Maybe starting to fall a little bit behind in terms of CS. Ooh, does find a regen rune. That's a pretty good one if you ask me. Gonna be spamming Sakata down a little bit. Sakata already used one of his shrine juices. Probably will go back and use the other. Maybe okay with trading a little bit of resource there because he has the regen. Alright, I'm just missing kills left and right. We had Axe dying to Witch Shocker on the bottom lane. Seems like he got cast and pounced at the same time. Meanwhile, top lane is probably the lane that I should be watching the most. A lot of kill potential. Looks like we are going to see a teleport here for a shrine. Well, we definitely teleported to the wrong shrine if we was looking for one, but... Huh. Random TP. I think he was expecting that shrine to be there. He could use this shrine now. And he will. And probably walk back to the lane. Always better to like use one of these in-base shrines instead of like walking back to the fountain. You actually save like yourself a good 10 to 20 seconds. A shrine regens you much faster. Sure, it doesn't put you all the way back to full, but he's a Kato, so he gets to chakra magic back up. All right, we got a slow game now. I think slow game favors Sakata because he gets to just kind of see us and build up towards whatever item he's building up towards to. Haste means no gank me for the next 2 minutes. So yeah, this last pick Tiny has not really worked out for LGD. The Shadow Fiend counter, although somewhat risky, he has already gone past a very risky stage, which is like the first minute or so. And now he is just coasting. The mid D ward really helps as well, as Tiny never really had the high ground vision that he needed. Okay, now we're going to see dogfights being initiated upon. Nice Burrow Strike, and the Pit of Malice is there, but now in July in a little bit of trouble. But here comes the Haste of Sakata. He's coming in. He's the Victoria. Victoria walks into the Pit of Malice. That's going to be one kill. The triple raise. I don't even know what. I guess those are like the claws of fire or some shit. That looked pretty cool. And they will pop the shrine in July, getting very excited. Even Burrow Strike to the shrine. He gets a full mana pullback anyway, so no big deal. Yeah, I thought Sakata was gonna just play it safe in the mid lane, but that was too good of an opportunity to not go to the top lane to get some kills. And I think if he didn't go there, he might have actually lost a teammate. So good play. I think maybe trying to set up a kill here by tossing Jasing onto the Slark for a taunt into avalanche combination, but this Observer Ward will see Tiny peeking out of trees. Meanwhile, top lane, Pit of Malice going to work. Oh god, lots of nuke damage, and IGV no more shrine to fall back onto. So toss back into a crush. Should be easy kill. They do get the Sand King. They will get another. Maybe making ganks happen. Did not work on the bottom lane, but definitely worked here. And that's the combination I kind of mentioned during the draft. Tossing the Slaughter in. Easy initiation. Easy crush. And yeah, easy game. Alright, maybe. Gonna probably shrine out with his friends. Oh, feels good. Oh. Not exactly stacking the best of stuns here. Jasing, which just TP out. Oh my god. That spin, if he got a couple extra ones, would have even gotten a kill. But, good stuff, good stuff.
I'll take your tribute.
And now the ganking duel of Maybe and Victoria. Will strike the ground. A lot of wards here. Smoke will break and dogfights should be able to walk away. Or not. Avalanche, toss, crush. Would it be enough is the question. The Pit of Malice will come out. Ooh, but that was a very low Pit of Malice. Casket, though, it's going to be good. And I think they could chase for another toss. No, they won't. And now they get rooted again on the way out. Alright. That's kind of what I mentioned earlier with playing support Pit Lord. You're just tanky as hell and you just don't die. Support Pit Lord is going to activate a shrine instead of going back to the fountain. Good play. And off we go. As you would expect, though, IGV's cores are farming much better. The Slark has relatively free farm, and Shadow Fiend has had free farm, and is just killing people. So IGV sitting very pretty. And that's kind of the concern I had with LGD's lineup, is that they have a lot of weight on Luna's shoulder, unless this Tiny goes off. Which, he is trying his best. He's 1-0-1 right now. But, he needs to have, like, I don't know, 5-0-4 or something like that by, like, the 15-minute mark or the 20-minute mark to really call it a successful Tiny game. Because, given his current rate, it's just not that good. Or at least not good enough. Paparazzi gonna be going for the Shadow Blade. Yeah, I do wonder what Sakata is gonna be going for. It looks like it is gonna be the standard fare of Dragonlance, Manta style, and then later a BKB and a Butterfly, I guess, is the adding progression. We did see a Shadow Fiend go for a Diffusal Blade the other day, which is definitely a little bit odd, but... Oop. Justing is going to get taunted, but Illuminate is going to get channeled. Avalanche! Illuminate not going to hit here on Paparazzi, and he will get the hell out of there. Infused Raindrops keeping him alive. He's going to just teleport to the shrine and do the solo shrine up. Nope. We gotta wait for the Witch Doctor to TP a shrine as well. Oh, feels good. The 2-man shower, guys.
Technical difficulties. Trouble brewing at Radiant's bottom tower. I'll take that. Radiant's bottom tower seen better days.
That's gonna allow Ame to push down this tower. We are starting to see a trend of the safe laners getting a Helm of Dominator. On face value, it doesn't seem that great, but I think on Luna in particular, it's quite good, because you could use the creep to stack as you could have done before, but we also see Luna as being very active in terms of using the Eclipse as a ganking tool, and grabbing a Mud Golem or a Dark Shore Warlord to assist with that Eclipse gank is pretty decent. Oh, that is a huge stack being stolen, so pretty good stuff. Oh, Paparazzi actually got the tower deny on the bottom lane. Pretty good. Yeah, at this really slow farming game, even though net worth is fairly even, I think the Shadow Fiend is really going to start to pull ahead when IGV is going to be able to start taking these outer towers with the Shadow Fiend. Looks like his item progression is somewhat slowed down or something. Was he not farming for a while? I mean, his net worth suggests he's been farming non-stop, but... not sure. So instead, it's actually LGD that's putting on the pressure and making some aggressive plays. One thing for sure is Victoria is not really given the free space that he needs to actually farm up. Lots of spells are missed, but the Uber is called, and you get the hell out of there. And now that will give Victoria the time to get his Blink Dagger. It's actually like relatively farm for a support. I mean, he spent a lot of time farming. I think he might even get to his Blink faster. No. Axe is already there. Normally you see Vanguard on Axis, but ever since the new patch where stacking the Ancient hasn't been that good of a thing, we've been seeing more of the straight Blink Dagger rush instead of the Vanguard and then back to the Blink. Alright, Blink and Smoke, let's go. And again, I do believe that the Dire team needs to fight the way into this game. Paparazzi goes Invis. Toss is going to be there, and well, there you go. Avalanche will find him. I think if he just stood there with the Shadow Amulet, he might have survived, but the fact that he hesitated and came back out of his invisibility definitely cost his life. Alright, Illuminate. Trying to slow down the push, but Sakata is probably going to just backdoor this. Tank the tower a little bit. Call it a day. Yeah. That's going to be a tower. There's very little that LGD could do, at least without the axe. But the axe is coming in. And this could be a good one. They don't have any vision, but Sakata farming this neutral camp. Very dangerous one. Oh, smoke breaks, and the call misses. That is the reveal of the Blink Dagger. And now Injuly swings around. There's a Maledict on him. The raises are coming through, and the Blink reveal actually is going to be a successful gank for LGD. The Pit of Malice is going to be there. Victoria sprinting out. He really can't die here. He needs to have enough gold for his Blink. He needs to shrine up right now. He shrines, and he's going to be fine. But still, very good turn of event here for LGD. Dodges the LGD gank. Or sorry, dodges the... Sorry, very good turn of event for IGV. Dodging the LGD gank and turning it around. I think Sand King hesitated a little bit there. He saw the Shadow Fiend first, but then like went for somebody else and then went back for the Shadow Fiend. Alright, we got and you can see that IGV is starting to slightly pull ahead, given the fact that Shadow Fiend is starting to farm much faster and start to take towers. Although he has to be very careful now. I don't think he could go for these like tier 1 tower sieges anymore because of the Axe Blink. Or if he goes for it, he needs like a full team next to him. If he gets taunted under the tower, he's just dying. Ooh, he's actually finishing the full Hurricane Pike first. Interesting. I mean, Hurricane Pike in theory is good against like Axe and Slaughter because you could push yourself away from them, but I think that if you're gonna get stunned by one, you're gonna just get chain stunned. I guess he can push his teammates away, but I don't know if Shadow Fiend's supposed to itemize for his teammates. I think this is definitely a very curious purchase. I think Yasha would have been a bit better, or even working towards an early BKB, but Sakata knows best, so I will trust on his judgment. Yeah, he's going BKB straight up next. He recognized that the chain stun power is just way too much. Oh god. Top lane comes in, Sakata get brought in with the Requiem, so they might have lost the Sand King, but ooh, do they want to go back and fight this? They have Blink Taunt available. Eclipse is going to be there, but the Force Staff, well, that's why you get the Force Staff. Okay. Meanwhile, the Death Ward out of the freaking woods here, doing some work. Warding him away. Slark coming in from the backline, finds XZ, that's going to be another kill. So, 2 times in a row now. And LGD gang gets thwarted and turned around very quickly by IG Vitality. Dark Rift showing a lot of use there. And now the support Pit Lord is going to have a mech relatively soon. I gotta say, history is proving itself again as IGV is almost like a mental block for LGD. They just can't beat this team. Now without Eclipse available, IGV feels very brave to push into this tower, although I'll back up now. Just seeing working towards the blade mail. I just think that the LGD draft was a little bit too one-dimensional with a Tiny. And now they're feeling the after effects of it. They can't really push, because Luna's not strong enough to kind of frontline and push it. They can't really gank, because these guys are way too tanky. Pit Lord's too hard to kill. Slark, Shadow Fiend, a little bit too hard to kill. And they're just stuck in a farm game against one of the best farming heroes in the game. So, LGD in a really tough spot. But LGD was in a lot of tough spot yesterday, and they just fought the way out. So, never really want to count out the Tiny, especially when he has now the Shadow Blade pickup. Looks like he skipped a Blink today. Yesterday he went Blink, Silver Edge into Ethereal Blade. I think he's actually looking to transition into more of a semi-carry build. He will finish the Silver Edge, but I think he's going to go back for something like an Aghanim Scepter instead of going more for the burst damage. I think the burst damage train has really left the building. It's not really going to work out that well.
I'll take that.
Blessings upon a loyal warrior.
Wait, I heard a smoke being used or something. Oh, there you go. Alright, IGV smoked up. I mean, LGD definitely expects something to be happening, right? Like, literally every hero is missing off the map for IGV, so not exactly the, not gonna be exactly the easiest smoke of all time. Interesting sentry spot. Well, it's gonna find this D ward. That's pretty sick, I guess. They will see Paparazzi coming in. Ooh. Sentry will get dewarded immediately, but not before XE tangles the ward. Okay. Tower will go down, though.
No breaking down the Radiant structures like this. Radiant's top tower's in bad shape.
Man, really good ward guessing here by Super. Able to de-ward pretty efficiently. Well, I guess it's not a guess when you have a Slark checking it for you always with Shadow Dance. Well, Luna is definitely caught up here with the Slark at the very least. I guess Slark is also not one of the best hero in a very slow game like this. He prefers the game to be extremely sloppy and lots of fights to be had, but I think he's really afraid to go into the jungle by himself because he could easily get completely chain stunned. So we're gonna have a good old Chinese farm war. I mean, again, I think Shadow Fiend is advantaged when it comes to the farm war, but Luna definitely uses the goal much better than the Shadow Fiend once we approach to like the 15 to 20k net worth mark. But for now, Shadow Fiend still enjoying his comfortable lead. I think RGV, once they get the BKB on Shadow Fiend, then they're going to start to make a move. Mech already up on Underlord, probably going to work towards a pipe next. And LGD making a big rotation into a fight. They see dogfight, that's going to be a two-man call. They need to burst down Sakata, but Epicenter being channeled on the high ground here. Where's that Mech? I think Mech has already been popped. Great blinding light pushing Sakata away, or at least not a great blinding light for the LGD perspective. And that creep wave was able to tank a lot of the Eclipse. Meanwhile, Paparazzi comes in from the back line. Aerial Strike will hit on maybe fights into 1v4, and that's going to result into a full team wipe. They did get Sakata. The initiation was great. The blinding light, I think, pushed the Shadow Fiend away from the Luna, so the Luna wasn't even able to right-click. I mean, that's the problem with going against a Pit Lord team. He just pops the mech, and sure, one person will still die, but not before they have unloaded too much damage, and not before you have committed way too many spells on that one particular hero. So, and that was before the BKB of IG Vitality. Once they have BKB on Slark and Shadow Fiend, I don't know how LGD is going to win the team fight. Now, I wonder if LGD is going to try to push right now, given the fact that there is no Eclipse. Probably not. I think Sakata needs to resew up. Instead, they're going to go for a Rosh instead. And now LGD is in a very bad spot. And they're kind of forced to fight again, but it's already too late. I don't think IGV did anything special. They kind of just had a better draft and did okay in their lanes. And the draft just kind of carried them through. Didn't make any particularly big mistakes. And once they have BKB and Aegis on Shadow Fiend, the frontal push will come from Sakata. And what the hell is LGD gonna do? They could go for some like sneaky toss back play into the Slaughter and they crush him or something like that and kill him there under the tower. But they have to rely on those kind of low percentage plays because as we saw in the last team fight, fighting head on is not going to be effective. This is something that we see a lot of Kato players starting to do. Kind of playing him like a split push machine using the ultimate and Illuminate. Although I think that one's gonna miss. He is trying his best to delay this push that's coming. It will help to hit the creep wave though. Alright, this one will hit. It's pretty good. No other support could do this, right? Like, he is slowing down the push. As the push comes, pretty impressive stuff. Alright, Luna working towards her BKB. BKB is going to be pretty nice in terms of mitigating a lot of Sand King as well as the Firestorm damage, but I mean, Shadow Fiend already right clicks for what? Over 200 damage? Slark right clicks for a very decent amount. Top lane looks like Jasing did get off a taunt. BKB is going to get activated and Jasing now in a lot of trouble. Maybe if he gets another spin. Ooh, that was close. I think if he got a spin off against Paparazzi, maybe he could have dunked him. But instead, the entire team gets Stark Rifted up. So now they're going to be pushing the top tower instead. And XA immediately mirrors the movement from the other side. Pops his ult again. And tries his best. Slow down this push. I mean, thank goodness they have this Kato. Or else they'd be losing much more tower. But on the back line here, it looks like IGV has found XZ. Do they have detection? Great blinding light here. We'll push everybody back. That tower is going to get forfeited. And meanwhile, I really like what Dogfight did. He just poured away from his team. Defends the mid tower, make sure that they don't lose that one. And IGV slowly but surely is taking a very decisive lead in this game. Instead of a butterfly, we're going to go for a Scotty instead. Just tank the hell up. Makes sense. That Scotty's going to be nice against the Luna, as well as the Tiny. Fairly low range heroes. I guess he goes like Scotty, Satanic, Butterfly. And just sits in the front. It's like, okay, what do you do? Alright, XC playing the stance again. He's like, okay, I'm gonna defend. And he is doing a very valiant job. Unfortunately, Illumina does not one-hit KO full HP creep waves.
Invisibility.
If LGD could actually push down a tower here, top lane, in exchange, that wouldn't be the worst. It looks like they might be able to too. Maybe he could pop his double damage and go to work. But maybe he has queued up a Blink Dagger. Ooh, Dark Rift. Man, they're not giving a single tower away. I really like this play by IGV. Sure, their push is going to be slowed down as a result. They could have taken down the tier 2, I think. But they're just not letting LGD have any window of comeback. I like it a lot. Luna now stealing the enemy Ancients, okay. Oh wow. Super going for a solo kill. Oof. Good TP out, or else he would have died. Oh, is he gonna be dead regardless? Oof. That's close. The Glimmer Cape blocking some of the earlier ticks. Now Paparazzi coming in. Don't think he's gonna find anybody, but that's fine. Well, one thing I'm very pleasantly surprised about is that Ame has actually done a fairly good job keeping up with the Shadow Fiend. And you gotta keep in mind that Shadow Fiend is the one that just did Roche. They're the one that has been pushing more towers. So this is really, really efficient farming by Ame. I'm not exactly sure what he's doing, apart just running from like jungle camp to jungle camp, but I guess he's fairly efficient at it. Alright, Blink Dagger purchased up on Tiny, so they are really all in on this burst damage plan. But who are they actually gonna burst? Look at this. Mech Pipe, Atrophy Aura is just not gonna be easy. And now IG Vitality decides to push after the Aegis runs out, but before Scotty gets picked up. This is a very interesting timing. In July, blinks in Burrow Strike. Good guess, but Jasing has already blinked out of there, so smoke broken. Not exactly the best gank here by IGV. I'm still very curious about the timing that IGV chose to fight. They had Aegis for 5 minutes. They didn't fight. Now Aegis runs out. Shadowfiend does not have Scotty, and they go for a smoke gank. Did Slark finish a big item? Slark finishes BKB. Maybe that's the reason why they were thinking of fighting. Blink Call, that's not going to hit anything, and they're going to focus on Witch Doctor, who's in a nice little misposition. But Sand King gets off a nice Burrow Strike, and it's going to be Axe going down. Blink Avatos here on Sakata, not even taking down half his HP. They're chasing down Ame. Ame should be okay. Meanwhile, Blink Burrow Strike, because of the vision being granted Slaughter, in a lot of trouble. Pit of Malice, not going to be there, though. And the Leash, not going to hit by Paparazzi. Paparazzi's still going in for the kill, and looks like he is going to get it regardless. But look at what Maybe's doing. I really like his play. Recognize that they have lost the team fight, but cuts off the creep wave. So the Diary can't really get pushed, at least not on this lane. So IGV says, okay, let's push mid instead. That is how you salvage a lost fight. That was a pretty brutal lost fight, if you ask me. Ooh, maybe. Oh, they see him. Where's the gem? There's a gem on the Slark. Oh, that is a big pick. That's going to be a second tier tower. Probably all of the towers. As Pit Lord was at the bottom lane pushing out the waves. So, a very easy mid tower into a rotation to the bottom tower. Meanwhile, on the back line, man, Paparazzi just fighting picks non-stop. Victoria missing his blink by a mile. And now just seeing a lot of trouble. The Pit of Malice will hit him as well, and he will go down. Paparazzi had the BKB activated, did not want to take a Luminate or some sort of AoE and get himself into dunk range. IGV, blink, Burrow Strike, that's going to hit on XZ, and now force that forward for the right click. Sakata pops the BKB, has some Requiem channel. No, he actually pops the Requiem back, and it's just looking to do some right click for now. Alright, Gem is going to get recovered here by LGD, but Tier 3 is already under siege. Buyback here, Blink Crush is going to be there, but the Blink Burrow Strike a lot faster, and now Shadow Fiend going to get the kill. The Blink Call misses by just saying. The Requiem's going to get channeled, the Mech's going to pop out here by Dogfights. And all of a sudden, LGD is going to take way too much damage. I think Dogfights could channel the airplane mode and get the hell out of there. Which they will. And that's it. They got, a buyback out of the Axe. They got a couple of extra kills. And they lost nobody. Yep, Satanic next. I mean, Sakata knows, unless he gets bursted down by this Tiny, there is no way they lose this game. And they're not even close to bursting him down, so. Yo, this is the first time I've seen, ever in a pro game, that a Shadow Fiend took the +2 damage per soul talent. Which, yeah. It's going to give him a ton of damage. He's sitting for 318 right now. And he's got like Scotty and a Hurricane Pike and a BKB. These are not damage items. It's just all Requiem's, or all Necromastery and his talents. Kind of crazy. Normally evasion is kind of the go-to, but yeah, I mean LGD doesn't exactly have too much right click, at least not right now. Ame is building towards it pretty rapidly. Alright, they need to break the link in if they want to steal this. Use the Force Staff to break it? Okay. And they will try to take it fast, but here comes Paparazzi. He's got the gem, he's scouting out, but he gets crushed, taunted? Are they going to burst him down? Yes, they are. No! Yes! He's dead. Ame pops the BKB, and now IGV for the first time actually in a deficit. Victoria going for the Force Staff, going for the Crush, but there is no follow-up, so he's going to be fine. There's a buyback immediately by Paparazzi. And now, oh no, he gets bashed inside the Roshan pit. Can he actually make it out of there? No, the Pit of Malice reroutes him. He's dead, and a very unlucky break by LGD. They got the kill on the enemy carry, but they just can't finish. And also, they couldn't pick up the gem either. As Paparazzi picks up the gem that he was holding for a while. They still get the Aegis on Sakata. No, they got it onto the Slark, which makes sense, because he just bought back. And now, Sakata is just going to go up the high ground. Okay, instead of going for the Satanic, he's going to be going for AC instead. Same kind of idea. As long as he does not die, there is no way LGD could win. And he is just chilling in the back line, man. In the building. Alright, we need a big, like, 3-man, 4-man call. Victoria getting his Blink Dagger canceled. They're trying to burst down Paparazzi, but Paparazzi has the Aegis, so doesn't really care. And that's the melee racks. Time to charter a flight, boys. Nope. They're gonna just pour it out on the Shadow Fiend. And push bottom. Very, very methodical play by IGV. They're not trying to do anything fancy. Just the basic stuff. Underlord actually goes back for a Morbid Mask and a Vlad's. Pretty nice for the Shadow Fiend, considering that he did not go for the Satanic. I wonder if the two communicated it and be like, okay, I'm not going to go Satanic, you go Vlad's. And we get even more damage. One thing for sure is I've never seen anybody take the Shadow Raze talent. Although 3-second cooldown on Shadow Raze is pretty cool. It's just that at level 25, you're just better off doing right-click damage with that 150 attack range. Alright, here we go. We're gonna see that AC being finished. How to kill Sakata. I think that's the question that LGD is also waiting to answer.
Dire just couldn't save that bottom tower. Dire's mid-ranks is getting swamped.
Okay, Blinding Light being somewhat annoying. XC working towards that Axe. I mean, if XC has Axe, this base defense will get a little bit easier. But IGV doesn't even need a push now. They could just, like, take down all the shrines if they want. Which they will start to do so right now. AC coming into handy against it. How much armor does Shrine have? 20. Well, 15 when Shadow Fiend's next to it because of the AC. I think if the Butterfly gets finished on Luna, they have a shot because she then starts to do quite a bit of damage. But I think we are a little bit too far away from that, and I'm not sure whether LGD is gonna get the time to farm for that Butterfly. He will try though. Oh god, that's a DD on Sakata. Unfortunately for them, they don't actually have a creep wave. That is the one thing that LGD has done an extremely good job of. Keeping the creep waves constantly pushed out. I mean, granted, they do have Keeper of Light, they do have Tiny, they have very quick ways to kill these creep waves. But, the fact that they're constantly vigilant about it is the key thing here. And maybe has gone for the exact same build. The Blink Shadow Blade and Ethereal Blade build. Which is not very good when you don't kill people. It scores 4, 2, and 2. Yesterday, when he was playing Tiny with this build, he was going beyond godlike. IGV is playing it quite comfortably, but they are giving a lot of time to Ame. Ame getting recalled up top. He is going to have Butterfly for the next push. So this is pretty big here, if you ask me. I guess Shadowfiend could just wait for MKB and just call it a day. Which, I guess he's already more than halfway there, but I don't know. I feel like IGV could be mounting the pressure a little bit more, but maybe that's just more so of LGD pushing out the waves extremely well. Alright, Aegis gets waited out by LGD. I mean, you can still see LGD, is, despite being in a very, very bad situation, they're down by 10k gold. They're still making a very competitive game out of it. The net worth deficit is actually just mostly on the supports, right? The two cores of LGD is able to keep up with the very two insanely rich cores of IG Vitality. So I think LGD still has a very decent chance in this game. Although they still don't have a solution for Sakata, they're getting closer and closer to that solution though. Or maybe not, man. MKB picked up on Slark, and then you have MKB picked up on Sakata. That Butterfly suddenly doesn't look nearly as good on Ame anymore. Alright, are we gonna see a flight? No, we're gonna see a smoke though. I mean, IGV, all they want is just an easy pick into an easy victory. But I don't think LGD is going to give one to them, because LGD is like, look at these kind of split push. Sitting in the trees, getting a Quelling Blade, just blasting a Luminance. And then you got like people over here just hiding. Not getting caught, man, but I mean, IGV could just pop out right here and just hit the range racks. Oh god, this is some next level gank here. Look at Luna, he knows. There's too many people missing off the map. But that's gonna be range racks. Alright. But as soon as the Radiant team shows mid, freaking rat Dota from the side lane. Look at this.
Radiant's top tower.
Suddenly both tier 2s are under siege. And they gotta port back. This is buying a ton of times. Keeper Light will recall an ally here. Looks like it's gonna be the Luna. And they farm more here. I mean, Keeper's about to have Axe. Alright, this is actually gonna be a game, I think. Still, the lead is constantly growing to the side of IG Vitality, but I think LGD actually stand a fighting chance now, especially if Tiny finishes his next item. Looks like he's gonna go for the AC first. A lot of minus armor already on the other side, so good choice. Alright, that's Axe finished. So now you get a gem on XZ, and D wards are starting gonna happen. Maybe you have maybe pass a gem over, at least during daytime. Don't call it a comeback yet, but this game just got a little bit more competitive. Of course, IGV could still take the next Roche. They are still heavily advantaged with their item progression. I keep asking if they have an answer for Sakata, but do they have an answer for Paparazzi as well? We saw him dying when he ran into a full team of 5. Burrow Strike from a mile away, but XZ, oh my god, with that clutch Glimmer Cape, would have easily died there if he got Burrow Strike. Oh, this is a very long spawn here. That's quite good here for LGD. They just want to drag this game out. I mean, their whole game plan was to drag this game out. Here we go. This is a good timing for LGD. If they win this fight right now and get the next Aegis, this could be the comeback. Ooh, Shadow Fiend pops up mid. Can they burst him down? Gonna try. They have vision on him. Blink call, that's gonna be onto 2. They need the stun, and where is it? Avalanche toss is gonna be there. Sakata pops up AKB, trying to channel the Requiem. He won't get it off here. Ame trying to win the right click war. He doesn't! The charter flight, they are back home. They are safe. They lose 2. Where was the Slaughter Crush? I wonder if his Blink Dagger got cancelled or something. But everybody's gonna heal back up, and they could BOT back in or something. Yeah, we're gonna see port back up to the shrines. Oh, Shadow Fiend. I don't know where the hell he ported to, but he's gonna walk towards this. And now, oh, what a pounce! Yo, that was some Michael Jordan leap by Paparazzi. They get the 1 kill, and they're looking for the second. Victoria sprinting away, but I don't think they care. They're gonna just force out some buybacks. Now, from their perspective, they might think that Luna has buyback, but we know Luna has no buyback. This could be the game. Sakata already hitting the Terra Force. Alright, they're trying their best to delay tactic here, but Paparazzi with his 11 Essence Shift. Okay. 26 seconds till Luna comes back. I just don't think they will last 26 more seconds. Burrow Strike will hit, and Slaughter, that was kind of the last line of defense. Slaughter will go down as well. Sakata chops him down like 3 hits. That was their one last chance. Nope, they're going to go here on Sakata, but Sakata has BKB popped, so he doesn't care. He's just right-clicking. Thanks for the taunt. Maybe he's going to come in. He's going to go down as well. Victoria is going to be the next one to die. And IG Vitality making this game look absolutely easy. They just outplay LGD on every turn. And IG Vitality will win. Will take this game 1 in the best of 3 series. Again, in the last 10 games that these two teams met against each other, IGV has beaten LGD like 7 out of 10 or something. So I don't think it surprises anybody, but I'm just worried for LGD because this is the one team that they're just struggling against and they just seem to cannot beat. Hopefully LGD will bounce back for game 2. We'll take about a 10-minute break, but after that we're going to see if LGD has what it takes to take down IGV, or is it going to be a 2-0 sweep? Stay tuned, guys.